Welcome back, Devils fans, and whatever other NHL fans may have trickled in here. I am here on the opening night of the NHL Playoffs. A bittersweet time for us Devils fans, as there is no exciting time like playoff hockey. For me, it is the best part of sports, the best sports calendar moment, if you will. The NHL Playoffs is unlike no other. And if I need any more evidence than the first period of tonight's Maple Leafs Bruins game, then I don't know what I need. I don't know what to tell you. If you watch the first period of that game, and it was an amazing game, the score ended up being lopsided, but the game was tightly contested early on, and what an absolute first period. One of the best periods of hockey I've seen in years. That first period was completely insane, but before I continue on with the Bruins-Leafs game, let me just show you guys. This was my bracket. I had meant to do a preview video. I did, and the whole thing happened. I had an error. It's a whole long story. I'm not going to get into it, but here is my bracket in case you missed it. I posted it on Instagram. Check us out on Instagram if you don't follow us. Running with the njdevils. There it is. Follow us on Instagram. We posted this earlier today, but I'm showing you here. Here are my predictions. And to just cut to the chase, your boy has Connor McDavid, Mr. Adam Henrique, and the Edmonton Oilers defeating Matthew Tkachuk, older brother of soon-to-be Devils forward Brady Tkachuk, in the Cup Finals. Adam Henrique gets his Cup championship. Matthew Tkachuk falls short again in the Finals for the second year in a row. And there's my picks. But there they are. Back to the game at hand. The first 3 minutes, complete, just nonstop hits. Any chance there was for someone to finish somebody, open ice on the boards, they did. No one shied away from a check. Every chance there was for a hit, the player took it. And they ranged in severity from the player going full steam, trying to absolutely crush the guy, to a slightly more glide into him and kind of emphasis at the end, like a 5 out of 10 type of hit. But a lot of them were 10 out of 10s early, just bone crunching all over the ice, people getting slammed. And this is playoff hockey. And what I want to stress here is, after watching that first period of hockey, it was very exciting to watch, and I was super jacked up and yelling, even though neither one of these are my teams, and I have no dog in the fight other than a stupid bracket that I picked that means nothing. But I was fired up watching this, and it was just a reminder of these two teams were bringing everything that our beloved New Jersey Devils lack. Unfortunately, the reality is, if the Devils were playing either one of those teams tonight in that first period, whether we were playing the Bruins or the Maple Leafs, the way both of those teams responded tonight in that first period, our New Jersey Devils would have been leveled and pummeled all over the ice. Possibly half of them would have been carted off to the hospital. That was an insane period, and why I always stress, I can't stress it enough. People are like, oh, this is a new NHL and speed and skill. When that playoff time comes around, this is a man's game that requires men and warriors. You saw it tonight in that first period alone. That was just absolute. I haven't seen anything like it in years. I think there was 40 hits or something in the first period. It was completely insane. People getting smashed left and right. Relentless from both sides. No hit was left on the table. Everybody taking their shots. And you'd have to be, if you're being honest, the Devils play either one of those teams, we are getting battered all over the ice and we have no response. And this is why I've talked about toughness in tons of videos, physicality, all this stuff. And it's not because I want to live in the past. Yes, I am an old timer. And for the most part, I do think, everything from back in the day was better. Most of the time. Most of the time, it really is. And I have another thing on that in a minute about the way things used to be. But playoff hockey is physical. You need to have warriors. And the team, as we are constructed right now, you cannot tell me with a straight face you would be comfortable with the team we just finished the season with, the 23-24 New Jersey Devils, riding into the playoffs against either one of those teams tonight. It is very ugly. It's painful, it's ugly, and it's going to be embarrassing. That was a first period for the ages. This is going to be a great series, even though the Leafs are getting killed now. But I think it's going to be a great series, and physicality is on display nonstop. And the New Jersey Devils must address the issue of the lack of toughness and grit in the lineup. I've been saying it for months. I'm going to continue pounding the table and talking about it forever. You saw tonight the type of players you need to win and compete in the playoffs, and the Devils lack them. And I just, not to bring up the crazy dream, but a game and a night like tonight, You want a Brady Tkachuk in your lineup. Brady Tkachuk is made for moments like tonight. We have no guys like him whatsoever. And if we're out there against either one of those teams tonight, we're getting embarrassed and beaten up. And tonight should be a glaring display of it. When you watched it, you should have been like, oh, wow. The first thing you should have thought of as a Devils fan was, what would our team, how would they respond to either one of these teams right now? And the answer is it would not be pretty. So I hope that was just a wake-up call. I hope Tom Fitzgerald's watching. It's not rocket science. It might not be displayed in the analytics, but toughness matters. It may not show in your data in the math team. There's a human element to the game. You must interject human intuition if you know hockey when you're watching this. This is how it is. The playoffs are a different animal. And a former New Jersey Devil that I loved, and I actually mentioned him in a video months ago that I wanted to try to get him back on the Devils for this year for a playoff run. That never happened. Obviously, the playoffs went out the window. But Patty Maroon, the big rig, doing it big time for the Boston Bruins tonight. He crushes my man right into the bench. Pat Maroon, former Devils legend, just crushing, thunderous hit. And then he's on the ice and makes a play here leading up to the Bruins goal. He was everywhere tonight, and these are the types of guys he specifically I said I wanted. And so I hope, if nothing else, this was an alarming wake-up call to the Devils as a whole, to management, that tonight on display was this is the playoffs. It should be another reminder of how soft this team was and how we cannot go into the season next year with the same kind of lineup we have today. It needs tweaking, and Brady Tkachuk fits that machine like a glove. Like a glove. We'll have more to come on Brady. I'm sorry, Senators fans. The reality is, this might be happening. Makes all the sense in the world. We'll get to that at another time. But, yeah, Patty Maroon getting power play one time, screening the goalie on power play one in the first period there. Big body, get in front, get to the dirty areas. Big body, tough guy, uses his strength. These are the guys we need in the lineup, and it's the guys Fitz must add this summer. There's some free agents. I'll be coming out with another video about that. My shopping wish list. There's guys out there, and this team can be improved in the areas that we need. And tonight should have been another just glaring reminder of what this team really needs to do in the summer. But we saw a lot of former Devils kind of making moves here tonight. In the early game, Stefan Nason got one for the Canes. What ended up being the game-winning goal in the win over the Islanders. Big boy out in front, gets a little opportunity to chip one in. Former New Jersey Devil, that was in Game 1 of tonight. And then in Game 2, Patty Maroon, former New Jersey Devil, as well as Boquist on that nice pass leading up to the goal. And beautiful assist there. And also Zach rang a post. He was a little active. So a lot of former New Jersey Devils active in the two games tonight. Yeah, Carolina wins the early game. The Bruins look like up 4-1 in the third period. Looks like they're going to hang on to, I'd imagine, to win this game. And, yeah, they were both my picks. Here's my bracket again. Here's how I have the whole tournament going down. Best time of the year, playoff hockey. There's my bracket. But tonight, again, love watching playoff hockey, but very bittersweet as our boys are not in the tournament. And it just was... Oh, what an exciting time of the year, and to not be involved is just heartbreaking, honestly. And watching that first period of the Leafs-Bruins game, my God, that was old-time hockey. We need to add muscle, grit, size, everything. Curtis McDermott, love the guy to pieces. Hopefully he returns, but he's just a small part of the equation. We need team toughness. We need guys like Maroon, some other power forwards. Brady Tkachuk would be an absolute dream. We've talked about this at length. But just gritty, scrappy guys that could get it done. The playoffs is a whole other animal, and you saw it tonight. I can't stress it enough. That was one of the most insane, intense periods I've seen in quite some time, and it was just, rubbing my face in everything the New Jersey Devils are not at the moment, and it must change. I hope Fitzgerald and I hope some of the players are watching it, and they should, think to themselves while watching this, do we play like this? Do I go out there and do what these guys are doing and putting it all on the line and just crushing hits everywhere? Guys aren't doing it. You have to be willing to do that to win the playoffs tonight. Great first period for the Bruins and Maple Leafs, and it's exciting, guys. Bittersweet. We're not in the tournament. Really sucks. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the game. Who do you guys have if you want to share any of your brackets? Who do you guys have going all the way? Who are you rooting for? I picked the Oilers in my bracket, and I am also rooting for them. I'd like to see Adam Henrique get a cup, and I always rooted for Connor McDavid. I think he's just a freak in nature, absolute amazing talent. And guys like that, I think you always want to see, for me anyway, I always want to see the greats win at least a cup. I was glad when Ovechkin won his. And, Connor McDavid's been in the league for a while now, and he's not getting any younger, so for him to get one now would be nice. But really, for Adam Henrique, former New Jersey Devil, never forget the man for that beautiful goal in Game 6 of the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals, eliminating the New York Rangers. Henrique, it's over! The legendary call by Doc Emrick. Missed that man as well. Doc Emrick, what an absolute legend. But that's it, guys. I had a lot of fun watching the game, but it is disappointing and really depressing that playoffs are here. Our boys are not in the tournament, and I hope they're upset at home watching this too. I hope they think I never want to be home in mid-April, late April, and not playing actively. It really sucks. It's disappointing, but hopefully Fitz does what he needs to do this summer. He brings Brady Tkachuk to New Jersey, amongst other things, and we have a squad for next year, and we make a deep run. But it's going to be a long summer. I'm depressed. Still love playoff hockey. Throw it out there in the comments, anything about this. Who do you guys have winning? Share your brackets, all that, yada, yada. And that's it. A bittersweet night. The tournament has begun. And the boys aren't in it. Oh, that was the last thing I wanted to rant about. I think most people probably like it. And I'm very curious. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on this. Again, I'm an old school guy, and not to say that every single thing from back in the day was better, but most of the time, honestly, it was. And one of the things that I want to go back in the day about was the old playoff format where it was 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, and then they would reseed after every round, meaning after each round, the highest remaining seeded team would play the lowest, and that's how they would set the matchups. I understand that newer fans, probably people are used to the bracket, I suppose, like from NCAA. I don't know. I guess maybe that's why people like it. And you know the path to the championship. I don't like the bracket at all, honestly. I've never liked it. I think the league should go back to reseeding after each round. I just don't like it at all. It doesn't make sense to me. The bracket thing is dumb, I think, and they need to figure out a better playoff format. I don't know about qualifying for the playoffs. I could probably rant on different things about that as well, but I'm just talking about not even the way they rank for the playoffs, but just actually once it's set. Yeah, it's just the old seeding way is better. 1 versus 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5, and then highest and lowest remaining seeds play. It's I think they should go back to that. I never liked it, but let me know what you think about that in the comments. I'm curious to see what people think about that. And there's a lot of things that I think over time in our beautiful game might get revised, including these crazy 3-point games. That's it, guys. Throw it out in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils. Oilers.